Burn it.
What?
Did I say stand there and look stupid? No, I said burn it.
I genuinely don't think that the reset thing for Animal Crossing will ever not get me with how anticlimactic it is. Like, here's hundreds of hours of a game that you worked really, really hard on. Oh, you want to delete it? Okay, bye. Okay, it's gone. Burned to the ground. But we're back. Hi, friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Dahlia, and today we are back playing Animal Crossing. We're not back on any particular island because I have officially just reset my coastal island, Capri Sun. And if you are curious about that island, I have an island tour, a dream address release, and a full list playlist on my channel with all of the builds I've done on the island, so feel free to check it out. It'll be linked in the description for you guys. But today we're starting a new island. Today we're doing a new fall island. I am such in a fall mood that I am so excited to do this island. And if you guys have been watching my videos in the last couple weeks, I've been hinting that this is an island that I've been wanting to do for a very, very, very long time. I don't think that gives much hint away because I feel like I've never really, I've talked about it, in passing, but I feel like it's something that I never really, was like, oh my god, this island is the one I want to do. This is what I want to work on. I can't believe I haven't done one yet. But really thinking about it, I can't believe I've been playing Animal Crossing for 4.5 years. Oh my god, almost. I think it's been 4.5 years. March of 2020 to September of 2024. But yeah, it's been 4 months or 4 years, 4.5 years since I started playing this game, and I can't believe I haven't done a island of this theme yet. But anyway, we're gonna be doing a autumnal island. Like I said, I will tell you guys what the island theme is gonna be. We'll show you the layout of the island, my starter villagers, the name, and all of that fun stuff. Thankfully, it only took me, I think, about 5 or 6 tries to reset to find the island layout I wanted. And really, I was not being picky at all with this theme. The only thing I really wanted for my island, because it's autumnal, I wanted to have a orange airport. My first one having to reset with Genji and Cherry as my starters hurt me in a way you don't even understand. That is like the perfect starter villagers for me. I love Genji and I love Cherry so much. They don't fit the theme we're going for this island, so they eventually would have been replaced by other villagers. Timmy and Tommy bitch, why are you back here? We had to reset a couple of times, okay? Just a few times. Thankfully, like I said, it did not take me that many tries. My only 2 major things is I wanted the orange airport and I wanted villagers that I liked as my starters. It didn't need to be specific villagers, like I said, but I wanted relatively decent villagers. And I also wanted my plaza and airport far-ish away from each other, just because the idea I have in my head for my entrance does require quite a bit of space. I am planning out this island. I already have all my villagers in mind, so that is something that I've never had going into a new island before. But yeah, I have all of my villagers already planned out, so I know who everybody's gonna be. I just don't have the layout of the island planned out yet, but I do have a general idea. Obviously, Blue Airport, Sylvana, and Igly, I believe is the penguin villager that was there. I love Igly. I would have been very happy to keep him. I think he's been a starter on one of my islands before, but once again, Blue Airport. No. The only airport color I will be accepting is orange. I debated briefly maybe yellow, but orange is just so fall, you know? I will never use an orange airport outside of the fall time. Once again, 2 fantastic villagers, Phoebe and Antonio. I was getting good starters. Sylvana was not my favorite, but I was getting pretty decent starters in terms of my two beginning villagers, so no complaints there. It was just the color of the airport. I just kept getting blue. I think I've gotten blue 3 times in a row. So I was just trying to find a good decent map. I was planning on resetting as many times as possible, as many times as need be, in order to get an orange airport, but thankfully it did not take that many tries. One other thing I kind of wanted was like apples or cherries as my starter fruit, but this is going to be a more natural island, so I will be using like fruit trees, like apple trees especially. So I would have liked to have apple trees on my island. This one had peaches, which was like my second least wanted one after pears, just for this particular island theme. But we were very lucky and very fortunate to get an orange airport. We also got Cat, which is one of my favorite starter sisterlies. And we got Rod. If you guys remember my last island, I wanted Rod for my coastal island.
Sorry I'm late.
I couldn't find him when I couldn't find him when I went villager hunting, and he wasn't on any treasure island, so I had to just give up. But he's such a cute villager. He's this little... I'm so mad at him for not showing up on my coastal island. This seems to be a recurring theme for me. I want a particular villager for an island, and then when I go hunting for them, I can never find them, and then I'll reset, or I'll be on like a different island, or I'll no longer need them, and they'll show up like immediately on like villager hunts, or they'll be like a starter villager I come across, and it's like, that's a little mean, Nintendo, but it's fine. But anyways, this is the official island that I settled on. I'm really happy with the layout. I have no problems with the layout that we're working with. I don't really see myself probably decorating my beaches, so the beach layout is not really that big of a deal for me, but I like the distance from the airport to the plaza, and I like the amount of space I have. I like the placement of my river mouse, and overall I was really pleased with the island that I chose. Honestly, if it wasn't for the orange airport and the two starters, I wouldn't have cared either way. So in the end, I'm pleased with what we got. So I quickly placed myself Rod and Cat's houses on the beach, as you traditionally do, and then we got started with the island. Now, this island theme, like I said, is going to be a theme I've wanted to do for a very, very, very long time. I'm gonna show you guys the name of the island first, and then I'll tell you what the theme is. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled with the name just because I wanted it to be related to the theme, but another part of me was like, okay, no, everything I'm coming up with, I've either seen people do before, or it just seems like too, I don't know, like, cliche. And like, this is already gonna be a very cliche, like, typical autumnal island. So I settled on something just cute and fun, and something that I think like encompasses the vibe I want for the island. And I'm struggling to type it because I'm using my Pro Controller as I was working on this. But I decided to name it Cozy Oak. And the reason I decided to name it Cozy Oak is because this is going to be an all squirrel autumnal forest island. So very cottagecore, very cozy, and just think of like cozy, warm autumn vibes. But the thing I'm most excited for is this is going to be my first ever, not only all squirrel island, which is my absolute favorite species of villager in the game, but it's also going to be my first ever all species island. I have had quite a few islands where I've done like multiple of the same villagers, whether it be squirrels or dogs or cats or anything like that, but this is my first all villager island. And what's really great about the squirrel villagers is that there's so many squirrel villagers to choose from. I don't know the exact number, I'll put it up on the screen here, but I was looking through the amount of villagers I have to choose from, and I wanted them to still match the theme as in terms of like the colors. So I'm going to most likely choose all the villagers that kind of fall within the more earth tone, like not earth tone zone, but like neutral toned colors. And that probably means I won't grab like Mint or Filbert, who's one of my favorite squirrel villagers, and it kind of breaks my heart to not include him. But there's just so many squirrel villagers that I can choose from that it's honestly quite easy to just choose 10. I have a feeling it's going to be like 80% girl villagers because there's more girls than boy squirrels, but that is perfectly fine. Obviously, I'm gonna have Marshall and Poppy, my two favorite squirrel villagers, like hands down, two of my favorite villagers in general. So I'm very excited to have both of them. But yeah, I'm really excited. So we are officially finished with the island setup portion of the video, and now I'm just speed running to get to the 5,000 Nook miles that we need. And I feel at this point it's quite standard that everyone just knows what you're supposed to do to get to 5,000 Nook miles. You pick a bunch of weeds, you like in the traditional way, as opposed to like speed running it or like by getting like the golden tool things that gives you a lot of Nook miles. So I'm like picking weeds, I was fishing, I'm grabbing bugs with my bug net. What else did I do? I changed my passport photo, as you guys can see here. I drew on the bulletin board. Really just, there's so many things that you can do at the beginning of the game to speedrun 5K Nook miles that I don't think a lot of people realize. This isn't obviously a tutorial on how to do it because it's common knowledge at this point on like how to do it. But once I was finished with the 5,000, it's been like about 3 days since I've last did like my reset, and since then I was grabbing a bunch of more Nook miles, obviously to increase my pocket space, to upgrade my tool ring, to get the things I'm gonna need for when we get to 3 stars and I'm able to finally start like decorating. So right now, between when this video goes up and now, like between when this was recorded and now, I've done a lot of just grinding on the island, and it's like, it's that beginning part of the game that's a lot of fun, where like the only thing you really have to worry about is just fishing and catching bugs and chopping trees and just enjoying the quiet early beginnings of the game before like you're like, oh, I have to flatten immediately and get started with my island, because I am so excited to get started with my new island. But sometimes I feel like I speedrun the beginning part of the game a little too fast, and I ignore the fun parts that make Animal Crossing such a fun, wonderful game, like getting stung by bees, wasps, I should say, not bees, multiple times in order to get Nook miles. Because if you didn't know, one of the ways that you can get Nook miles at the beginning of the game is by getting stung twice so that your character faints, and then you get, I think it's 300 Nook miles, which like in retrospect is not like a lot of Nook miles, but when you're like really close to getting those 5,000, you just do whatever you need to do. So my character looks a little bit upset with me, but you know, 300 is still 300, and yeah. Another thing I've kind of put off doing so far is setting up Timmy and Tommy's store, just because I love them in the tent. I think it's such a cute like detail at the beginning of the game where like one of them is outside walking around with a little the little flag in their hand, and then the other one is in the resident services tent just chilling in there. It's so cute. It's so cute. It makes my heart so happy. It's just, there's things about the beginning of the game that I love so much, and it's definitely not a struggle, but it's definitely hard to be like, okay, no, Dahlia, just take your time with like a couple of days. Just enjoy playing the game for a few minutes before you're like, no, I have to flatten everything. Everything needs to be bulldozed down, and I need to start decorating. But what's really nice about this island, I did say I was hoping to reset by mid-October or mid-September, and I started like maybe a week later than I originally intended, but it's not a Halloween island, so I don't feel pressured to have it finished by the end of October. I'm never on theme in terms of the season. I don't decorate in season when it comes to the game, but I'm not obligated to finish this before October, which I never could. I've never done a full island in a month. So I don't think that would be something possible for me. I would love to try that one day, but I don't have the strength to do it right now. But one day that could be possibly a fun experiment to see if I can complete an island in like a month. But no, this last island took me about 5 months, and I think 4 to 6 months is typically my standard time. Because typically I'm working on like 2 islands at once, because I have more than one Switch, and if I'm not working on both islands at once, I also do have time in between because I'm working on videos, I'm editing, and then it just takes me a couple of days in between editing and posting the video before I'm working on the new one. Sometimes I work on a video, finish it immediately, and then go right back into working on my next build, but I don't like to burn myself out like that. A lot of people ask me why I don't really experience burnout with this game, and I do. I do a lot, which is why I think having 2 islands, I also think taking breaks in between decorating, and not rushing myself to finish builds and to finish islands is a good way to avoid it. But some people are able to work on an entire island in like a week or 2, and to them that is like just standard. I wish that could be me, but unfortunately it's not.
Alright then, keep your secrets.
But yeah, we're coming up not towards the exact end, we're almost finished, but I'm almost at 5,000 Nook miles, and honestly all I've been doing is just catching bugs and fish and other fun things that you do at the beginning of the game. And the other thing I did in today's video obviously is donate the bugs that I need for Blather's tent, the bugs and fish for Blather's tent, and I think that's it that I did in terms of like island progression. Between when this was filmed and now, I have started going to some treasure islands just to get myself a couple of furniture items, just things I can place around the island to start my way to 3 stars. And what I really like at the beginning about when I reset an island, I am always someone who uses treasure islands. They're the easiest way for me to get items as someone who doesn't have a moddable Switch, so I'm just always going to treasure islands to get whatever I need. But what I really like at the beginning of new islands, when I go to treasure islands to like grab items, is it gives me an opportunity to see a lot of items at once, and it gives me ideas for brainstorming for builds, and also reminds me of some items that I sometimes, because I don't decorate with them all the time, I forget they exist. So it's a great way to kind of start mood boarding your ideas for your island. So it shows you a bunch of different furniture items you might not have decorated with before, or items you may have forgotten existed, or it just kind of shows you in a broad sense all the opportunity that you have in terms of like the different furniture items that you can use. So that's essentially like it. But last thing I desperately had to do is go to a treasure island and get myself a new outfit, so I quickly did that. But yeah, we reached 5 stars. I placed Blather's tent, which I don't think I showed in the video. But yeah, that's essentially everything for today's video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I'm so excited for Cozy Oak. I think this is going to be an incredible island. And I'm excited to take you guys along for the ride. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.